Hi, Erica. Hi, Adira. Savannah. Hi, June. Hi, Sam. Hanging out in here. Hi, the Sparrow Closet. Hi, Rebecca. Hi. Hi, Stace. A Shop Girl. Berry Cherry Vines. Morgan. Maria. Teelan. Hi, Tabby. Tabby Brooke. Cute name. Lori. Amanda. Brittany. Mulhall. Hello. How we doing, guys? How's it going? I'm sorry, I don't have anything to give away. I just realized. Well, here we are. Hello, Brittany. How are you? Hi, Brie. Um, how's everyone doing? Thank you for coming. This weather is wild. It really is. We took JJ to the park, and it was overcast, but we were sweating. It was so hot. It was crazy. You must have different weather than we do, because it's just cloudy. Thank you, Brittany. Thank you. Is the music kind of annoying? Hi Olga. I was listening to like hip hop lo-fi beats in my kid show, and then I was watching it back, and I thought maybe it doesn't vibe, but we'll see if we need to change it. Tattered Rabbit, cute name. How's everyone doing? Yes, I'm doing so well. Hi Jen, I haven't seen you in a minute. You're so welcome. Okay, it's just because you're right next to it. It gets quiet now. I didn't even turn it down. Hi, fashion. Hello. Okay, you guys. I just wanted to have a little team huddle. Can we have a team meeting? MGV huddle. Break. I just wanted to hop on here. One, I do have some clothes to sell. All right. And we don't have to sell them if we don't want to, but they're just clothes that I got from the bins that have just been sitting in my house, and sometimes like people's payments don't go through, and then I'm left with items, and yeah, it's a thing, you know? Welcome to my bedroom. Welcome. I just wanted to have a live where I just kind of explain to you guys like where MGV is going, and really I needed today to like recenter. I think going live at the bins is like it can be sometimes like really difficult because I have to always be on guard because there's like literally one spot in the Goodwill outlets that I can go live at. Every other spot is I can't go live. I would have to move my whole studio so I'm not in the way of new bins. So this morning I just got up and I was just like, I can't do it. I can't go. I need to like recenter. Hi Linz, hi Dawn, Jen Styles, welcome in. And I think we all get that way, you know, in our business. Like growing a reselling business on Whatnot is so much work, and it's so much like mental fortitude, and just being like, I just needed today. I needed a good coaching session with my husband, which I got. And I just wanted to come on here and let you guys know what will be happening over the next like 4 to 6 weeks. So the next 4 to 6 weeks, I will still be going live from the bins Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe Friday, because right now my fancy finds are every other week. So last week I went live from the bins, and then this upcoming week on Friday I will have a fancy finds. If you guys don't know what fancy finds is, you guys go check out the store. It's on Friday's black and white show poster. You can go ahead and click on it. Hi Trav, I love you. You can go click on it and go view the items. I just uploaded a bunch last night. I have Givenchy. I have Salvatore Ferragamo. Hello. And so you guys can go check that out. It's a really, I even have Gunny Sacks, thanks to Bree. And so I was talking to my husband this morning, and I think sometimes when we get in the motion of our business, if you're a reseller, you own your own business, it's the ring light. And I really love this dress. I wore this dress yesterday and I was like, where am I going to go? My husband really loves it, and it's so comfortable. It's just cotton. It's H&M. It's divided, and I was like, I like the color too. Hi, K Boss. Um, I think a lot of times we get into our business and what we're either motivated by just movement, being like, I just have to keep going so that I can create the outcome that I'm looking for in my business. And I feel like the last like 2 weeks, I just wanted to get to Incubus. Like, I just wanted to go to Incubus and go, like, have a great time with my best friends. And I lost my vision on the overall arc of like where we're taking MGV. So I needed today to have my husband coach me and be like, this is where we're going. Hi, Mandy. I love you. This is where we're going. And this is the bigger picture so that I have a strong enough why to knock down all the barriers of going live at the bins. Like, I'm not trying to like be boastful or anything, but like not anyone can just go live at the bins. Like, you have to bring your whole studio. I have to bring my phone stand. I have to bring my iPad stand. I have to know. Yeah, you have to. It's a lot. And for me to like mentally stay in the game, I need a bigger vision. So for the past 3 weeks, my husband and I have been doing research on TikTok content, and we finally think we've come up with a very easy to understand concept of what we're going to produce on TikTok. And essentially, it's going to be the behind the scenes of the binge show. So if you guys want to follow me on TikTok, I think I put it in the show notes. Yes, it's in the show notes. It's the same handle. Maybe it's over here for you guys. It's the same handle. Go follow me there. Currently, I have like get ready with me, like doing my makeup and my hair. I only have like 4 videos. Um, I always wanted to do stuff on Instagram or TikTok or it's okay, Maria. It's okay. You're gonna tune in for the real thing. Um, I always wanted to do social media. Instagram was just never my vibe. Like, I really struggled. I've been at 5,500 followers for like 3 years. Like, I've never been able to get over that hump, and like, it's just not my vibe. I don't want to show you guys a cookie cutter version of what growing a reselling business or just a live reselling business looks like. Like, I think it's really important to see the nitty gritty, to see the unrefined reproach. And so I downloaded TikTok like 3 or 4 months ago, and it was actually Priscilla at Kofi Vintage. She was like, you have to. Thank you so much. House of Live Vintage. Thank you. Thank you. I saw you in, whose show were you in? Oh my gosh, you were buying like the most beautiful pieces. You have really great taste. Hi, Hummingbird. I'm just going over where I know she's a gem, though, and she spends so much money. And as a seller, like, we appreciate that so much. Um, and so I downloaded TikTok. I started consuming the content, and I was like, this is where I want to build my audience. So for the past 3 months, my husband and I have been doing research on essentially just diving into the live reselling and the reselling space on TikTok. And man, like, there are so many resellers on TikTok, and I'm just like, man, I want to grow my audience on there. I want it to be super real. Yeah, it's so good. And thank you for coming, Dureski. Thank you, thank you. I gotta remember your name. It's gonna take me a minute. Ray Ann. Okay, love that. And I love the way you spell Ray. So I started consuming all of this content and realized, like, okay, TikTok is where we want to go. So this week, tomorrow, will be my first time on TikTok. Eventually, Brittany, I've been in TikTok lives and I'm fully approved to be a seller. I have a TikTok shop. But it's kind of hard to sell like one-off items, especially when there's no bidding. It's just like in your store and whoever gets it gets it. So it will. I mean, they said that last time. And I'm not wholeheartedly like, if something happens to TikTok, I'm not like, oh no, like I will still have Whatnot, I'll still have Instagram, and I'm gonna multi-stream to YouTube. So I'll be covered like if something were to happen. Way to be a Debbie Downer, Jess. Hey, your whole plan might go down the toilet. So, get him. Boot him. Boot him. I'm just kidding. Jesse's like my best friend, you guys. Hi, Dorothy. Hi, Nunu. Oh my gosh. Hi. I love you. I've missed you. And so TikTok content will be going live. No Novation Station. I don't remember the name of the new US one they're coming out with, but it won't be TikTok. Ew. Well, in Jesus' name, cover TikTok so we can continue to use it. Hi, Lucky13. So essentially what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be creating one video in the morning upon arriving to Goodwill. The catch is kind of going to be like what I can make in a day live selling at the Goodwill. So you guys, by the third video, I'll do 3 videos a day, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, right before I go live, and then after. So you guys are going to see my numerical breakdown. You guys are going to see into my business a lot more than you have. The reason why we want to do that is because one, live selling has changed my life. Before live selling, we had 7,600 listings between eBay, Etsy, and Poshmark. We did Depop, we did all of these, we did Mercari, but it was only Poshmark, eBay, and Etsy that really stuck. We had at one point 3 online virtual assistants from the Philippines and one from India who were listing sometimes over 100 listings per day. At the end of my traditional reselling business, when I found Whatnot, I was 7 months pregnant and I could not keep up with my business. I could not keep up with what the algorithm needed. Yes. Yes, that has been, sorry, I gotta fix this. So, Live Reseller Pro really taught us a lot, and yes, we're reworking it, but also like what we need out of the group, not to like be selfish or to be, but how we ran the group before, it just wasn't suitable for our lifestyle and for what we were trying to create. And so, and like, yeah, I'm not going to get into that, but yes, we are reworking something, but it needs to be, no, they don't show they don't show average age. Yes, totally. So stay tuned for that. Thanks, Trav, for having my back. Stay tuned for that. Live Reseller Pro will come back. Hi, Carly. And it will be better than before. And all the potholes and like the things that we fell in before, we're going to overcome. And we definitely needed this like deep interaction with an audience that was like, we're hungry to live resell. We're hungry to learn the skill set and to become a pro. I will just say that Steven and I weren't pro yet. Like, you can't teach on something you don't know. And so going live from the bins, I feel like I'm becoming a pro. Like, to be able to go live from the bins is a pro thing. And I feel like we needed more experience in order to be able to lead others to the pro mentality, so to speak. But that will be coming for sure. But hi, Yvonne. I just wanted to hop on here and let you guys know, like, we're going to start building TikTok. We're going to start building TikTok content, and you guys can go follow me there. It is on in my show notes, one side or the other, or maybe it's down here like it used to be. I don't know. And you guys can go follow me there. Right now, I only have 4 listings, but I've been doing research for the past like 3 months to try and create content that is easy, that I don't have to overthink or overdo. And we feel like we've come up with a really good concept. So by the end of each bins day, you guys will know on TikTok what happened, like how much profit, how much gross profit. And I just really want to give like an insight into like what is possible with live reselling, especially being like, for those of you who've been following me for a while, you guys know we moved, we were reaching like a really Zoe, I went over this earlier because I feel like TikTok is more raw, real, unedited, super kind and very supportive, whereas Instagram is more cookie cutter, more um edited and more like scripted. And I just want to be super real and super raw, and that's what goes viral on TikTok. So that's why we chose TikTok. So we are in the process of figuring that out, but also I just want you guys to be able to see the behind the scenes, because right now I just go live on Whatnot and you guys are like, whoa, we're at the bins, that's so cool. But I want you guys to be like, holy shnikes, like this is what she has to do to go live. That's why I do $5 starts at the bins instead of one, because I'm like literally working my booty off in an unair conditioned warehouse with thousands of other people who are trying to do the same thing, and it's a lot. Yes, Alicia, that's so cool. And a lot of the influencers on TikTok are pushing Whatnot. So Nina Poole, if you guys know who Nina Poole is, she's like the dupe queen of the beauty space. She, thank you, Yvonne. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Well, I have to use that just because of you. Yes, please, please, please. If you just follow me, I'll be the only one on your For You page. Thank you so much. You, you deal? Oh my goodness, Karen, girl, you were freaking. Hold up. Gracie's calling me. I'm gonna. Happened. Okay. Hey, babe. Sorry. I'm not trying to yell at you guys. Sorry. Gracie is calling me. I just need to go into do not disturb mode. There we go. You, gosh dang it. Hold up. Hold up, yo. Hey, babe. Steven's in the shower when I need him most. So yeah, this is what, okay, I will tell her. This is what we're gonna be up to for the next like at least 2 months. So stick around, go check out TikTok. I have no content up there, but tomorrow will be my first day of creating the content. We'll see how it goes. It is something that is I'm a little intimidated by, because I've never created content like this before, nor have I had the desire to be so consistent, because Instagram was like so difficult to go viral on. Like it was so much work that I'm really excited to be able to do TikTok. Do you guys have any questions? Like it can be about anything. It doesn't have to be about TikTok. I just want to like chat and be with you guys. And Karen, I wanted to tell you, girl, you are crushing it. I had no idea that you were a seller on Whatnot. You have 1.7K sales, a 2-day ship time, and a 5-star review rating. Let's go. Amazing. Amazing. I was so excited to raid into you. Okay, the goal with TikTok is to grow my viewership on Whatnot. So my goal is to take my TikTok virality and have 3 calls to action. One of them being follow me on TikTok, 2 download the app to Whatnot using my link so that I get referrals. And then leading people to my live. So essentially being like, there's a high probability that when you see this TikTok that I'm live. So they can go to the link in my bio on TikTok, hit my live. If they have Whatnot, they can just immediately go into the live, or they're going to have to download it, do the whole shebang, and then click the link again. You are? Okay. Okay, me too. Thank you. Thank you for the follow. You guys, if you want to follow me on TikTok, click the show notes. Yes, it's to get new buyers too. So if you guys, yep, no, not to teach. MGV will strictly be only MGV Whatnot lives and promoting my MGV Whatnot shows. Steven is going to create an entire separate account where he is the face of Live Reseller Pro, and he will essentially be the face of that. And I will, like, you know how athletes have coaches? That's essentially what it's going to be. I will be the athlete, he will be the coach, and it will sort of break down like that. TikTok can get buyers go crazy for the items you plan to auction. Yes. So the whole premise is I really want, we all need to be posting on other socials to bring more buyers in. Overall, there are more sellers than buyers on this app still. Hi, Crystal. I love you. Thank you for being here. So my goal right now is to get new buyers onto the app. I love you. And to be able to just simply promote MGV. As you guys know, I was in luxury, and luxury is a whole other beast. And so right now we're really focused just on the bins and TikTok. This is called phase 2 for us, and then we have a phase 3 that will lead into other things and hopefully luxury. But I am loving fancy finds. I think it is so fun. I love sourcing for multiple things at one time. I love like digging through the bins and identifying like, is this a fancy find or is this a bins find? What I love most, yes, exactly. Travis, stop it. You're so smart. You're so smart. If you guys are not going to Travis's unboxing and chit chats, you need to. He is Boombox. And this man is brilliant. He is so brilliant. I think he overthinks his own business, which we all do. But when it comes to yours, the dude is smart as a whip, and he knows, and he knows what he's talking about. So be sure to bookmark. I'm pretty sure he just made like a bunch of show posters for that show. But go check him out, and he has amazing minds. Hi, Pippin Bet. Welcome in. So, do you guys have any questions? Hi, Thrift Road Vintage. Thank you so much for your incredible review. It is. And he's just awesome. I know. Thank you so much. I am so grateful for your kind review. Like, I was just like, I read all of them and I'm so grateful. I know, me too. And I feel like once I start creating, then it's just going to be like second nature. But right now, for me, it's just like, man, we'll see what happens. We'll see. You do? I Travis, I know. I need to send you a voice message. I wish my stupid voice message thing would work. It's so weird. But any questions, like, I'll take any questions. You guys can ask about live selling, you can ask about TikTok, you can ask about like whatever you want. If you guys have any questions. If not, I do have a little bag of goodies that I'm willing to do for $1 starter. Carly, someone just asked this. Yes, we're not currently doing coaching right now. I feel like we needed this time to coach ourselves so that who we are coaching for is, or what we are coaching is aligned with who we are. And I feel like when we started last time, we had the concepts and the skill sets to teach others, but our personal life, as you know, Car, was so rocky and so up and down and so like tumultuous that we had to take a step back and it's on hold. Do you prefer live selling to bringing home the items? Yes. Are you talking about live selling from the bins instead of bringing the items home? When I would come home after a bit, so a while ago, I don't know. Yes. Okay. A while ago, Stephen and I were doing what was called Turnaround Tuesday, where in one day, in 24 hours, we would completely turn around and resell every item we found from the Goodwill. It was so much work because we stage every item, because we steam, lint roll, wash, stain treat, the whole 9 yards to prep for those previous shows. The bins completely eliminates the staging process and the listing process. I don't have to list anything. So it was so much more beneficial for me to be like, I'm just going to go live from the bins and see what happens. You know, live from the bins is so much more practical for you. Totally. I miss those shows, but I understand the yeah, it's also, you guys, I don't when I used to do those shows, I had my own studio. Where I live, I don't have my own studio. I don't have the ability to just go live when I want. My studio is at Jesse's Novation Stations, and he works from home. So I can't just like pop in and go live whenever I want. Which is totally fine. And it's literally put us in the position to where we can be creative. And we were genuinely at the point where we were like, what are we going to do? Because our sole income is MGB. And how are we going to like continue to go live? And I was just in the car one day, just like, let's just go live from the bins. Emmy Lou does it. Like, we can do it. Let's figure it out. And that's what we did. They don't allow that. Yeah, totally. Thank you so much. Um, what do you mean, Trev? Here in South Florida, they don't allow that. Yes. The pre-buying, totally. So what I love, yeah, I don't do those shows anymore. And I'm totally fine with that because if you guys knew how much work ethic we were putting so that we could like just do those shows. Okay, yes. The bins live selling. Hi, Daniela. Yes, I greatly enjoy going live at the bins. I think my number one like resistance to going live at the bins is making sure that I have my spot um reserved. So I have to get there an hour and 15 minutes before they open in order for me to just go live at the bins. Like it's quite the task. I also live almost an hour from the bins, especially with morning traffic. I don't get there like very quickly. So it's like a long journey, but so cool. I really have. And it's been such a game changer just in confidence in myself as a reseller that like I don't need this big fancy studio. I don't need um everything to be loaded into the store and for everything to be steamed and in perfect condition. I can get on and sell everything that I found in the bins that day. And I think another really cool thing that I love about the bins about cuz I've been reselling for almost 8 years. Stephen and I calculated that I probably have sold between Whatnot and eBay, Etsy, and Poshmark anywhere from like 50 to 55,000 items. And I think going live from the bins really solidified my ability to source at the bins. Sourcing at the bins is a whole other beast. I have received so many questions on how to just simply go to the bins and go sourcing. And I would say like my number one piece of advice is do not follow the crowd. Don't if new bins roll out, go to the other side and stay out of like if you just stand at your Goodwill outlet and you just observe the behavior, it's wild how everyone does the same thing. They're like sheep. Not like no, I'm not judging them. I'm not trying to like degrade them, but like they literally move in the same pattern. So people are crazy out the bins. Exactly. And the number one thing that I learned a few years ago when I was sourcing, because ask my husband, I would get, sorry, I just need a drink of water. But I would get so overwhelmed, and I would get so overwhelmed and like anxious before I would go to the bins because of that, because I was following everyone else. Yeah. And so one day I was just in the car on my way, and it was before I had my own like personal shopping cart. That was a game changer. Was I ordered, well, actually I didn't order, but my wonderful wonderful friend purchased with her tithing money a shopping cart that was portable, folded up, and I can take it with me. I take it with me every single time I go to the bins, because anytime I go, there are no carts. And sometimes for me to go live at the bins, because I'm doing Fancy Finds kids show and going live at the bins, I need 3 separate carts. And that it's a lot to like logistically. Um, but the number one thing that I learned before I was able to just like chill out, like everything's good, there's nothing to be anxious about, was that no one can take your portion. So if you're at the bins, no one can take your portion. Even like ask Bree. I don't know if Bree is in here, but Bree, being a athletic wear seller, she does bohemian, she does boho shows, and she does men's athletic wear, outdoor wear. There are a lot of people looking for those styles. Like vintage, not so much, especially because the majority of vintage shoppers at my bins are like 18 to 19 years old, and they're looking for what is going to pop off on Depop. So, really, like what I'm looking for is kind of untouched. Like, it's not really something that I'm worried about someone else picking up. But Bree knows multiple different sellers who picks up what she picks up. And this girl goes live multiple times per week. Yes, it's true. It's so true. No one's going to sell exactly what you sell as well. That's what I love about my binge shows is one, I'm not paying for the item unless it sells. That's a huge game changer, because before I was bringing all of these items into my home, and then what didn't sell, I would have to either resell, like try and resell it again, or redonate. Or I would have like a massive pile of flawed items, or but at least at the bins, I'm like, boom, it's sold. I don't have to worry about it. You guys, can you do me a huge favor? Joy to the world, right here. She just came in. This woman has done, I think, 2 or 3 lives and crushed her lives. She is on for like a very long time, like 6 to 7 hours straight. And she tries everything on. Her whole little setup is beautiful. She's doing curated shows. And you guys need to follow her. Your fourth one. Okay. You need to go follow her because she is beautiful, and you can tell she has a very keen eye for very different things, like things that you don't see on the app. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's a long time. And sometimes I was popping into Joy's show and she had 4 people. I was one of them. But she had one person buying. One person. They were buying up everything. And that's all that you need. This whole idea that large viewership means large money is not true. It is not true. When I first started selling on Whatnot, I took all of my stuff out of storage for my eBay business and hung it on like 7 to 8 different racks. Okay. 7, 8 different racks. Also, Joy's starting bids are not $1. They're not $5. She's doing like 12 to 20 to $30 starts, and she's still selling them, which is amazing. That means she's building the value enough in her items that they're willing to purchase them. But she's beautiful. Like yesterday, she did like a safari sort of like cat leopard theme show, and it was so good. Like You're gonna crush it, Joy. You're gonna crush it. So if you guys are looking for a new seller, someone who's up and coming, go follow Joy because she's amazing. I know. And Karen, you too. I had no idea that you were freaking crushing it on the app. I'm never on the app. So I'm only on the app when I go live because when I'm on the app, I tend to overthink things. Thank you so much for the raid. You guys, if you're not following Kate, I don't know what you're doing because she is amazing, amazing. Okay. She has incredible taste. She lives vintage. You will love her. Thank you. It's fading. It's fading, but I'm here for it. Hi, Maddie. Hi, Spirit Wolf. I know. I'm so glad that you enjoyed it. I'm so glad. I know I'm sneaky. I'm sneaky. I have my so when I go into people's shows, I have my setting turned off because when we were coaching for live selling, I didn't want to like throw anyone off by being like, "Oh my gosh, my coach is in my show." Like I just really wanted to be like just pop in, see what was going on. Hi Jana, and like figure out what to do from there, like how to give them tips and help them. But I am I just love seeing what everyone else is doing on the app. And I really enjoy like new sellers and seeing like how they take the app and what's their approach. And it's been so fruitful to just go into your show and see how you do it. Thank you, Jana. Thank you. That's why I picked it. It's like literally the same color as my eye. Do you see my freckle? I have a freckle in my eye. I scheduled my first show, but things keep coming up, so I have to reschedule. It's also so scary. People that do this are amazing. You do amazing. Yes, tiny treasures. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. When I went live for the first time, I was 7 months pregnant. I was huge. Okay. I was trying to sell like vintage 70s dresses for like $5 starts, and it was so excruciating to my heart to sell things for that much. Before I hit live, I was like literally shaking, like I couldn't breathe. And that is how I met Travis Boombox. If you guys don't know, Travis was my very first buyer on Whatnot. Then Mandu and Travis and I kind of like grew up on the app together. We really supported one another, and it was such a beautiful time on the app. And I'm really excited that I was able to like be a part of the very beginning of Whatnot, and really see the app evolve. Like I was on the app when they didn't have a tip feature. There was no tip feature, like the olden days. It was amazing. Bloom Free Closet says, "Sir, you're allowed to go to the bins and sell items that you haven't bought yet. I had someone tell me Whatnot can ban me for doing that." I mean, I haven't heard anything about it. Emmy Lou, if you're aware of Emmy Lou, she went live from the bins for probably like over 7, 8 months and was never shut down for that. I don't know why Whatnot would have any reserves about you going live at the bins. I don't know how that would affect Whatnot, but maybe I need to check quality safety assurance, but I haven't had Whatnot say anything to me. Their trust and safety team is very, very quick. Like um when we first started doing live reseller pro and Whatnot, we were asking people to send us their email via messenger on Whatnot. We did one live. The next morning, trust and safety hit me up like, "Hey, no go, you're not allowed to do that." And then we changed it. And that's kind of like what was happening. Would going live at a thrift store make a difference? To what? To like your business, like your live selling business? Yes, and so do others. So many people have been doing it live at the bins for years. Yeah, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Hi, Blair. Yes, versus the bins. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. So, do you guys know Empty Hanger, Jenna? When Whatnot first came out, how are you? Thank you for coming. When Whatnot first came out, all of the large traditional resellers, Empty Hanger, um, El Ducho, like these people who, Nicole State, they Whatnot hit them up and was like, hey, come on over to Whatnot. So I was on the app when all of these huge traditional resellers were on the app starting out. And they would do so well. They would have like hundreds of people in their show. Jenna from Empty Hanger would go live at the Goodwill. She would start everything what she paid for. So if the shirt was like $5.99, she would start it at 6. And she did so well. I do know that my regular Goodwill is not down with me recording. I have tried to do like YouTube content, Instagram content, and they're like, you cannot record in the store. So I'm not even gonna try and like attempt to do that. But I definitely think that you could try it out and see what happens. But I do think in the store is a lot more strict than if you're out of bins, and especially my bins because it's packed, like it's flooded with people. And as long as you're not drawing attention to yourself or doing anything that's kind of ruining the culture of what's happening at the Goodwill, I think you're good to go. It doesn't hurt to call management and ask, but I've really enjoyed. Yeah, don't be a menace, okay? Don't be a crazy girl going cray cray in the go whale. Just kidding. Um, but yeah, so another thing that I really wanted to address with going live from the bins and TikTok. I know. Thank you. I am pretty distracted, but like I just have to turn it off. Oh, yes, yes, yes. I've seen Liz Styles. She goes live from antique stores and vintage stores. You're right. That's so true. I just want to change my music. Oh, here it is. So, another thing, okay, everyone keeps asking me about my AI photos as well as going live at the bins. There are specific topics that are just not suitable for Whatnot. I don't want to be like in my live show explaining how I do my AI photos. That is why you need to follow me on TikTok. I'm going to create content that is going to be an easy step by step guide for you to be able to create your own AI photos. But Whatnot is just not the platform for me to do that. Steven and I have already like tried to sell informational products on Whatnot, and it's just not a vibe. It doesn't work. We have to mail a digital, or we have to mail a physical something while the product is digital. And that's why we're going to move sort of like our behind the scenes, our like tips and tricks on TikTok. If you want to follow me on TikTok, my TikTok handle is the same as Whatnot. It's also in the show notes. How do you decide what to keep out for Fancy Friday? Do you have a theme or process for deciding? Yes, Yvonne. So I think as like live sellers, as I know Trav has this for sure, Boombox, like you kind of have a Rolodex in your mind of like what you know will sell really well on a fancy find show versus like a $5 start bin show. If you guys go check out my fancy find show, I just uploaded like 15 new items. Um, some of them, if it's luxury, Yvonne, I medium like, yup. If it's a really cool pattern or like a really, I'm just gonna go grab some of my pieces. Are you down with that? Just like a little preview. I'll just grab like 5 or 6 of them. Yes, grills. Let me go grab them because I also want to tease you guys. Teaser. I love you. Okay. So I kind of have a criteria based on a lot of different things, okay? So what Yvonne asked me was, how do you know what, sorry, I was like running. How do you know what to put in a fancy find versus a binge show? When I was selling from my home and going sourcing at the bins, I would have what I would call like my 4 peak interest points on an item. I would pick it up if it had 4 peak interest points. So understanding like if the item has a great fabric, so if it's like silk or linen or wool, cashmere, that's 1 point. If it's a good size, that's another point. If it's like really colorful, really unique, or has intense embroidery, that's another point. I wouldn't pick up items unless they had 4 points. So, what we called it was my husband and I, when we were doing coaching, it was potency, understanding that every item has potency. So, when you understand that having multiple layers of key points that you can point out in a live for you to be able to sell the item, that was for me like a high potent item. So if it was like silk, a great size, really colorful and embroidered, that was 4 things that I could be like, I love this item. One, it's silk, it's amazing, like look at the quality, yada yada, and then you move on to your other points. So when I'm sourcing for my fancy finds, I am looking for those points. I don't want to just put something in because it's silk. So size, that's probably not a very good example. Um, just because I don't do high volume from my studio anymore. So maybe another one would be like, well, I guess like for size, let's say like you have a lot of plus size buyers who you want, yeah, who want vintage, but they find it difficult to find it. That might be an advantage to have. But also, I think that just understanding that every item has key descriptive details about it that will really help you. Yes, small for her. You guys, Whatnot's been glitching like crazy. It wasn't Jana, I promise. But let me kind of like lift y'all up and I'll kind of just explain to you what my fancy find process is for finding good items, and I'll just explain it with the ones that I have. I do actually want to grab one more item. I'll be right back, I promise. Because I really want to show on this one item. All right. So this last sourcing trip, I found this. It was so good. So this is kind of my little thought process for phone is glitching. No, you're good. I had your back, Jenna. Let me lower you guys. Okay. So this is my fancy find show, okay? It's Sacred Thread, which is a great vintage boho brand. Obviously, you might not know that if you're like a beginner reseller, but you'll start to pick up things as you go live. So I knew this was a great brand. I think it's a free size as well. Nope, there is a size. It's actually a 1X. Interesting. But I picked this up for multiple reasons, okay? It's vintage 90s. It was brand new with the tag. It still had the tag on it, and I was at the bins when it fell off. It was my fault. I like pulled it and it was stupid. But this is an entire rayon patchwork duster. So, because one, it was vintage 90s, two, the brand is Sacred Thread, three, it's patchwork, four, it's a duster, and five, it's a free size. Anyone can wear this. I'm a size small. I put this on and I was like, dang, do I keep this? But that's kind of like the idea behind what is a fancy find and what isn't. Also, I'm using my bin shows as market research. So every time you go live, once I'm done going live, I watch every single one of my shows. Every single one. Because I find that I'm saying like too much. I find that I say or I'm not putting the actual fabric content in front of the camera. Like there's just little things that I pick up because I watch all my footage. It's like an athlete watching football and they watch the footage of the game that they just played. But here's another one. This one is so good. This is 1950s, 1960s. And no, Hush Hush Closet. I am going to run it on Friday for my Fancy Find show. I researched this brand and it is a well-known 1950s, 1960s brand. In the 50s and 60s, faux fur was becoming like a thing. So that's how I know the era, but it's essentially a faux ribbed fur jacket. It's fully lined and it has two buttons. This is a grail for me. One, you're not going to find it anywhere else, on Whatnot or eBay. I mean, maybe you will, but you would have to like search it out. Another thing is, I know, Abby, it's so good. Another thing is the color. I love black, especially in fur. I feel like the lighter tones, like people are more reserved to buy white. Good evening. How are you? And I just love the history behind it. So because I know it's 1950s, 1960s, that's when faux fur was heavy and alive and amazing. And so that's another like key aspect. This has the most bells in my Fancy Find show. If you guys go to my profile, my Fancy Find show poster is a black and white photo. And this is so good, you guys. It's vintage 90s. It's a size large. It's 100% cotton. And it is the coolest denim jacket I have ever found. I don't even think I've ever found a denim jacket, to be honest. I have so many bookmarks on this item or bell notifications on this item. But it's really just understanding what works for your audience. That's how you determine what is a grail. So when I used to do shipping, my 16-year-old son does shipping now. But when I used to do shipping, I would look at what an item sold for, look at the video receipt, and then I would write down every single high earning item and I would put it in my sourcing journal. Sorry, I just have to take a breath. I ran out and got that inventory and I'm very out of shape. Okay. And I would essentially like learn yes. Essentially, I would learn what my high selling items were by going through it as I would do shipping. So if I knew, like a faux fur jacket went for crazy money, I would write it in my show journal. Then when I would go sourcing, before I went into Goodwill, I would read all of my high earning, high bidded up items and be like, oh, 1970s, those floral pieces of 1970s, those do super well. Or faux fur or like dusters do really well for me. Like people bid those up like crazy. But like psychedelic stuff like this is a 1970s little handmade dress. Look at like the pattern. It's like almost like a geometric sort of shape. You have pleating in the front, and it comes with the belt. So there's just like certain things that I'm like, okay, I know 1970s sells, and I know that it's gonna sell well for me. And then these are all in my Fancy Find show on Friday. Okay, they're already preloaded. But look at this one. This is a 1970s handmade jumpsuit. It has the original sash, and it is absolutely stunning. The fabric is like almost like a sheen, like a polyester. So also I'm another thing that is kind of complex about my shows is I try everything on for my Fancy Finds. So I'm also taking that into consideration. Like, what is this going to look like on me? Is it going to accentuate areas that I don't want it to accentuate? There's like a lot of layering to like why I source certain things. But everything that happens at the bins is going to be on my TikTok. So be sure to go follow. Tomorrow is going to be my first day of posting a 3-part video series on me getting to the bins, showing you sourcing. I'm also going to do previews before I go live on Whatnot. On TikTok, I'm going to do like a little preview of some of my favorite finds or some of my favorite items that will be in my live a couple hours after I post. At least that's the goal. But yeah, I'm just excited. I'm in a new season for sure. And I feel like now is the time to just go all in on One Hot and to just like dig deep and really, really thank you so much. Awesome for autism. Thank you. Thank you. What is your name? Do you guys want, I'm going to follow you. Do you guys want to see what I have for sale? Everything's $1 start. These are just items that I found at Goodwill. Either the payment didn't go through or somehow I just ended up with an extra item, which is totally Linda. So good to meet you. Thank you so much, Joy. Yes, totally. If you're a traditional reseller, I will toot that horn all day long. That live selling beats traditional reselling on any day of the week. I had this really cool experience this week. Someone that I loved to watch when I was traditional reselling was Hustle at Home Mom, partly because she was in Utah and she was a mom. So was I. And I loved her content. Like, I just felt like it was really down to earth. She was really genuine and so beautiful. And I would eat up her content. And there's a seller on Whatnot. You're so welcome, Linda. There's a seller on Whatnot. Her name is Eiffel Tower, I think is her name. And she was like, she messaged me like, I saw you in Ashley's video. This was like 2 days ago. And I'm like, I have no idea who you're talking about. Like, I don't know who Ashley is. And she's like, it's Hustle at Home Mom. And Hustle at Home Mom lives in Utah. So when she goes to the bins, she brings her videographer and I'm in all of the footage. Like, you just see me like digging through the bins. And it was like a very like crossroad point for me where I feel like when I first started reselling, that in order for my reselling business to grow, I had to have a presence on, yeah, that would be super dope. I had to have a presence on social media. It wasn't going to work because what happens when you're selling to Poshmark, eBay, Etsy, Depop is it's a 1-to-1 sale. You get one customer, you sell one item with one transaction. Our return buyer rate for eBay was like 0.08. Like, it wasn't even a full percent. It wasn't even 0.5%. It was 0.08. So to get people to come back to your eBay store or to your Poshmark store, it's really important for you to have another avenue to be able to market your store other than the platform you're using, because the people Very true. They do. Exactly, and it's Poshmark's customers, not yours. Same with Whatnot, though. Whatnot owns your customers. They own the relationship, which for me, Whatnot's platform has been such a joy and a pleasure to sell on that like I wouldn't give it up for anything. Never have return customers on the bay because it's all about that one item. Exactly. So my husband would give this analogy. If you are in traditional reselling, you're essentially putting up a vending machine on the platform that you're on. They can peruse your vending machine and then they make a transaction. When you're on Whatnot, you work at a restaurant. You get to understand what your customers want. You can show them a menu. You can talk to them. You can speak to them. You understand what it is that they're looking for. Because another thing is traditional reselling, the market data between when you pick the item up, when you listed it, and when it sold is huge. Sometimes I wouldn't have items sell for over a year. Yes, fashion runs deep. Um, Sometimes I wouldn't have items sell for over a year. So I had to understand, like, yeah, while Patagonia Sherpa zip up jackets, it may have sold for what I had it listed, but it took 7 months to sell. So with Whatnot, you get the immediate market data of understanding what sells and what doesn't. Granted, there are certain scenarios where you're like, the right person just wasn't in the room, so I'm going to rerun it in a new show. But to be honest, like, Whatnot gives you so much market data that you get to pivot so quickly. You get to understand, like, my audience doesn't like this. Yes, I know. What are you doing? Do you want to come on right now? Let me know. You listed almost all your items last night right before my show because I was late to take pics, but it still works out. Yes, been the right people in the show. Totally. That's the thing is like, okay, yes, we need to 100% because there's so much to what I'm saying that you can totally chime in on. I was not adulting well. Same. This is very informative. I'm having a tough time getting traction. Yes, Michelle. Or how do I say your first name? I'm already following Jasmine. Beautiful. I hear you. Whatnot can be um kind of a discouraging place, especially in the beginning, but the key to Whatnot is consistency. The hardest thing about Whatnot as well is you have to delay instant gratification in order for you to build your audience. Like not every show is going to pop off. Not every show is going to be a comma show or even like a $400 earning show. Like not every show is going to be amazing. It's about showing up. It's about formulating your community and who like MGV is me and my family and like something we've cultivated over the years. Making Grace Vintage is named after my daughter. I was making Gracie in my belly when I came up with Making Grace Vintage. And so there is a huge benefit to understanding that even though you didn't make a sale, there could have been someone in your live watching you who one not only wants to go live themselves and is inspired by you doing so, but two could eventually become a customer. I think a lot of times when we go live, we think, how many people did I have in my show? What did my best item sell for? And I can't believe that sold for $1. And oh, like we get so wrapped up in the details, but I can't tell you how many messages I have received where they were like, I've been watching you for 6 months and I just made my first purchase. My last Fancy Find show, I had a girl who was in my live who'd been following me for over a year, never once made a purchase. She won the giveaway and then she purchased like 3 to 4 items throughout the whole show. So, like, you just never know with live selling what actually is a win. What is a win? Because if you're not looking at, I think a lot of times we look at numerically, what did I make earnings on this item? How many people did I have in my show? What, just when we think of like the tangible, what we can see, but what you can't see is with 32 people in here, this could be their first time in my show ever. Ever. They may not have purchased something, they may not have won a giveaway, they may not have had any certain transaction with me other than just watching me go live. And there's so much benefit to you doing that because you have a tribe, Joy. You have a tribe, Kate. You have a tribe, Travis. You all have a tribe, a very specific people group that you are here to serve. And Whatnot is the best way for you to serve those people while still showing up as yourself. The reason why Travis does so well is because he is not anyone other than himself. Like today, right when he opened his live, he was talking about how it was difficult for him to go live and how he's trying to be more consistent and he's trying to do the thing to build a buyer base. It's crucial for you to understand that the metrics of Whatnot, they tell a story, yes, but you also connect every single time you hit live and you are connecting with someone that might buy from you 6 months from now. The number one thing that you need to remember, I do want to read these. All this time I thought your name was Grace. Yes, I Sift and Sprinkles. I love your screen name. Are you like a baker? What are you? I'm following you. Oh my gosh, you guys, she's a baker. She's selling honey oat granola in her buy it now. She's doing cookies, brownies, homemade Cheez-Its. You guys, please go follow Sift and Sprinkles. That is amazing. I'm gonna share you in my live so y'all. She's done 1.1 thousand sales. That's what's so cool about Whatnot is she's a baker. She's a baker and she can literally bake on a live, take you through the whole process, and then be like, "Do you want to buy my goods?" That's so cool. So cool. Giveaways can actually be a psychological powerful, yes, cause. Sometimes people will be like slightly discounted shipping. Exactly. What a great way to conceptualize a win. Jasmine, if there's one piece of advice that I could give you for going live on Whatnot is understanding that your sole intention is to get a return buyer. That's it. When I go live, I'm not worried about what an item goes for. I'm not attached to it. I have no attachment to the item because I can't control that. I can't control what it sells for. Yes, me as an artist, as I go sourcing, I know what it could possibly go for on eBay because I'm looking up comps. But Whatnot is not eBay. Whatnot is not Poshmark. Whatnot is a very specific, different form of selling. And if you're a traditional reseller, you need to understand that your number one thing to do is to get return buyers. That's why I do $1 starts. That's why I do $5 starts. I don't care what the item goes for. I care that I get a new buyer who will potentially come back. You need to understand lifetime value of a customer, LTV. What is your lifetime value of a customer from the beginning of my 3-year journey? My lifetime value of a customer is it's a lot. I'll just say that. And for me, I'm willing to let an item go for $1 because they could potentially spend hundreds of dollars with me, even thousands, over the next 5 years. So I'm like, yeah, heck yeah, you got a freaking Gucci wallet for $1. But guess what? They're going to get their item and they're going to go, I have to go bookmark, I have to go back because this is amazing. I get something for so cheap. And they're gonna, the law of reciprocity too. What Kate was saying, when you win a giveaway, you're like, oh my gosh, I just won something for free, but now I have discounted shipping and I need to give back to them because I got something for free. That's essentially what like a $1 start is. They get something for free. They're like, wow, I just won this item for so cheap, and they're gonna come back. If they don't come back, that's totally fine too. Not every customer is your customer, but make the bait potent, make it a low start. If you're sitting on inventory, let's say you're a traditional reseller, or you have the ability to go to the bins, or you have like a flea market or whatever, a great source of low um, low items that you're purchasing for a low price, start it as low as you can without breaking your bank, without going into the negative, and dangle that bait so you get return buyers. Because what happens is you go on your first live, you get 2 buyers. You go live again, 1 buyer comes back. Your second live, you get 2 first-time buyers, and both of those buyers come back. So now you have 3. Then when you go live again, you get more return buyers. What happens is then you have all these return buyers who are like, we want the same thing. So they bid, 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 plus market data. That's the winning thing of it all, is you need to understand, what does the market want. It doesn't matter what you think your Gucci purse should go for. You're on Whatnot. You're supposed to be starting things low and letting the market determine what the value is. Too many people stumble on not understanding that they don't get to determine what the value of their item is. You have to put it in front of your audience and say, you tell me. Then I take that data. I take it. When I first started doing luxury, I just thought, oh, it's luxury, it'll sell. Nope, I had things go for $1. I had a Gucci key case. I had a Vivienne Westwood key case. 2 key cases that went for $1. Guess what I did? I didn't pick up key cases because they didn't sell. And my cost of goods is way higher for luxury. So understanding every purchase on the app has the potential of them becoming a return buyer. Once you understand, like, oh, it may have sold for $1, but this person's gonna come back. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, I see all your comments. I gotta go back up. Joy says, you have to not get emotionally attached to the item or caught up in the numbers. You have to be you. So good. Yes, exactly, Joy. That's why I'm like, go follow Joy to the world, because she knows, like, she just has a presence and there's like a magnetism about her that I want to go to her show. I know this is true because people are me. Yes. Amen, sister. We need to take up an offering. Amen. I have such a love-hate relationship. This is Billy & Co. with Whatnot. I've lost so much money on it, but good platform for getting rid of a bunch of stuff at the same time. Billy, what do you sell? I'm following you. 17 reviews. You have 200 sold. Exactly. Rochelle, what do you sell if you're still in here? I don't know if you are, but oh my gosh, she's starting international snacks soon, you guys. Sift and Sprinkle, go follow. That's so cool. Like, to break into the food space is amazing. Kids clothes and women's. Okay, where do you source from? You are so welcome, Sift and Sprinkles. Hi, Dee. What kind of things work best for giveaways? New York, Tiny Treasures. Lately have been trying to do like really creative giveaways. I just order bulk of things on Amazon and I put them in like a little Ziploc givey, and I find that those do, like, it just gives my buyers more interest to stay in the show. Okay. Okay, Billy and Cole. So how are you losing money then? How do you lose money if it's all your own like inventory? Jasmine, such a great way to think about it. Yes. I don't know what you said that about, but I agree. And you are so welcome. What is your opinion with being on camera versus not? It depends on what you're selling. Linda, if you are selling like jewelry, selling very small items or like handmade goods, cookies, like food, I think it's great. You don't have to be on camera. I think it's great. Um, I would definitely say like if you're looking for like a long-term like spot on whatnot, you're definitely going to want to show who you are, and who you are is what you look like. I totally understand, like it's a very vulnerable thing to do, to be able um to be on camera, and to like right now my cheek is inflamed. Do you see that? But like it's just, it is what it is. It's just the way that the ring light hits, it's like heating up just on this side of my face, but it's just like kind of part of the process. And the more open and honest you are with your audience, the more they will come back and will support you. um but I do think you can totally get away with not being on camera. I just don't think you're going to be a top seller in your category or even on the app if you're trying to do that. Like a drug, I only look up things on the mark if I don't recognize the brand, not for pricing. Amen, Kate. You're going to crush it. I mean, you already are. But do you care what you paid for it? Yes, totally. 5 heartbeats. You're beautiful. Love your lipstick. Wow, let's go. You 4 sold. T Heart. 100%. I 100% think the idea of it all is to get your cost of goods as low as possible. I 100% am able to do $1 starts, $5 starts, because all my sourcing as of right now is from the bins. So my cost of goods is fairly low, and I can keep um I also have an established buyer base. So I don't, at this point in my career on whatnot, I don't even think about it. Like I don't even think about like what the item will go for. I just simply want to have a show and enjoy it. And if you get great deals along the way, you'll most likely come back. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for you to come back. Especially if I'm that customer. That's what Travis said. People have come back in to visit and say, hey, they have bought from me on my first show, and sometimes come in to say, hey, but sometimes buy a lot. Exactly. So sometimes they'll be like, I just want to say, what up, Joy? Other times they're like, let's spend some money. And that's awesome. When they know it's quality, that you're trustworthy. So true. Finds by Chelt. That was me. I bought some kids' items for $1 from you, and now I'm hooked, and I'm on watching all your shows for women's clothing. See, she purchased from my kids show. You know what I mean? So then you start to cross pollinate. Travis does this really well. He's in Y2K, and then he's in True Vintage. They are similar categories, but they're very different buyer bases. So with Travis, he'll go into Y2K, gain a bunch of new buyers, and then he'll move into vintage. So like cross pollinating is a really beautiful place to be if you're a if I would say if you've done over 1,000 sales. If you're under 1,000 sales, it would be my recommendation, and you can take it or leave it, to stick to one category, get really good at one category, and then move around. um Yeah, the market data, you guys, is insane. It's about how much someone views its worth in anything in life. So true. Value is in the eyes of the beholder. Yep. The lower the purchase price, the higher the chance of return. Exactly. Stacy says, I've seen sellers get aggressive in language when they aren't getting the prices they want. It turns me off. Stacy, it is so true. I have seen that happen over and over and over again, and I literally leave. Like I want to be a great luxury seller. It's going to take me a good season to get into that category, but when I'm in the luxury category, I can't handle it. Like I can't chat, bid it up, chat, let's go, chat, where I'm just like, those are people who are watching you, and you're patronizing them. And like it's a vibe. It's a vibe that I'm not into. Billy and Cole, kids and okay, you're selling kids and women's. Um, I'm also in the beauty, hair, fashion industry, and I just love helping people feel beautiful in their own skin. It makes my soul happy. Yes, and that rings true joy, that rings true in your lives. Almost every time we end North Carolina, is that what you mean? Me and just to hang out, I end up buying. Yes, sometimes you just want the company. True. For 23 years, it's my personal closet mostly. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. Billy and Co. because I spent a lot of money on some of the items, and they are in perfect condition yet sell for so cheap. So let me kind of just touch on that really quickly, and then we'll kind of wrap up. But um, so Billy and Co. The idea of having items. Stephen, do you want to come in? If you're available, let me know. My husband is so much better at answering stuff like this than me because he has so much like sales knowledge and just has gone into depth on the psychological areas of sales. But Billy and Co, what's hard about Whatnot is if you're coming in with the mindset of I paid this much for it, that means I need to get this much for it. And it's difficult to come onto Whatnot with that mentality because you have no control over what the item will go for. If you have new with tag items that you're like, I really want to get the full value of this item, I would say stick to traditional reselling. List them to Poshmark, eBay, Etsy. Like traditional reselling is still a great way to resell, especially if you're like, I don't want to be on camera. I don't mind holding on to my inventory. And it's a much slower paced sort of style of business. But for Whatnot, it just in what I've experienced on 3 years on the app, almost doing 30,000 sales, is it doesn't matter what you think you should get the item for. It matters what your buyer and your market thinks the item was worth in that particular live. So a lot of times it can really screw us over when we have a traditional reselling mindset of it sells for this much on this platform, therefore it should sell for that much on Whatnot. And that isn't the Whatnot game. Whatnot game is not traditional reselling, it is return buyers. You're trying to get return buyers. So when you focus on getting return buyers, what do you want to do? You want to give your buyer base an exceptional experience from beginning to end. And so, yeah, we're going to be coming out with a new playbook, a new coaching system. My husband's okay, my husband's sending me secret messages that say I want to hang out with my wife. um, Oh my goodness, fashion! You are so welcome. I thought you ran in a door. I was concerned for you. No, it's just sometimes when I'm passionate about things, like my face just gets red. I'm going to give away a Labubu. What is that? In my 1K celebration banger show, and just because it is good for marketing. Totally. That's a great way to give a good givey. It can be a slower grow, but still great. Yes. Do you find the clothes for your kids show at the bins as well? Yes. Everything that I'm sourcing right now is from the bins solely. I mean, there might be like one or two items in my fancy find show that I bought on Whatnot, but it's very far and few between. I have purchased bedding from you and vintage tablecloths, so everyone is always affected by my purchases by you. Oh my gosh, Bokabell, that's so cool. I didn't even think about that. That's so cool. Um, yes. If you are a new seller, Amat was viewership point to do you do $1 starts 1, 5 or 10 etc. people. I'm not really sure what you're asking. Yeah, when I hear that, let's go chat, yeah, it drives me nuts. I don't base my pricing on viewership. I base it solely on just okay, my last rant, and then I gotta go be with my husband because he's with all the kids and I'm starving. But my last rant is hold on, I gotta reread it. Okay. Your buyers are people who work full-time jobs, who have kids, grandkids, who run their own business, who just went to Costco without a list, and their decision fatigue is so, so high. Decision fatigue is when you literally cannot make any other decisions. If you are a parent, like, you know what I'm talking about. You cannot answer any more questions from your kids. You don't want to make any decisions. When people come into my show, I don't want anyone to be like, what's happening here? What does this start for? What's your starting bid? Do you run in order? Like, no. When they come to my show, they know I do giveaways. I run in order. I start everything at $1 or $5. I run everything for 5 seconds. Thank you so much. Thank you, Linda. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I was really like bummed that I didn't go live today because it means there's no finances coming in, but it's okay. I really needed to like take a day. So I'm super grateful. I'm glad that this is valuable. JJ is pounding on the door. Buyer resistance is such a huge thing in live selling. You have to understand that if you're constantly changing your starting price of every item, that means, thank you so much, Joy. That means that your buyer has to make multiple decisions in your show to be like, is that worth $12? Is that worth $15? Do I want to spend $5? Instead of just being like, I start everything at $5. You lower your buyer's resistance. Their decision fatigue is already high. They want to go to a show that they're like, bam, boom, boom, boom. We're moving through the show. The store is loaded. The prices start at $1 and we run everything for 10 seconds. We don't take requests and we move in order. When people come into your show, they have a deep clarity on what is happening. And if they don't vibe with the show, then they're like, I'm out. I'm ready to go. So understanding buyer's resistance, you're trying to lower your buyer's resistance so that they will buy, meaning you need to have a good title. If you load your story, you need to have good pictures. If you load your story, you need to have measurements. And this is something that I still need to get better at because I was strictly a mystery pull seller. So now I'm actually loading the store, and now I have to understand the art form of loading the store. But giving them the information, all the information they need to buy, is crucial to your step-by-step process on whatnot. If you're sheerly a mystery pull buyer, you need to be doing measurements. Thank you so much, Daniela. You need to be doing measurements on the live. They need to know. That's why I do, this is the brand, this is the size, this is the fabric content, this is the measurement, run the item. Because they have everything they need to make the purchase. So if you just really, I know I've given you like a lot. This was all just like, here's a bunch of stuff that I know about live selling. But if you guys want to learn more, go follow me on TikTok. I'm going to be able to create a lot more content on live selling on TikTok that I won't be able to make on Whatnot, because Whatnot's a selling platform. That's what it is. Like, it's for a community, but if you want to do where I'm going to be doing like TikTok lives, not to sell things, just simply community, go follow me on TikTok. My TikTok handle is in the show notes. And I do love to see items way before the show. Totally. I 100 loading the shop helps me so much in my show and in my shipping. Totally, Kate. Like, no struggling to find the measuring tape exactly, and no struggling to be like, what item am I shipping? Like, what number is this? The numbers got mixed up. So it's a huge benefit for you to load the store. But go check out my Fancy Find show. Hi, Create. How are you? Thank you for coming. I'm just about finished. But I'm glad you're here, Terry. I know I threw a lot at you guys. I really have like a vast amount of knowledge on this, and especially because this is something my husband and I talk about every single day. And I truly have a heart for this community, for being able to, I know it's going to be so good. Terry, I uploaded like 15 more new items to the store the day before yesterday. I don't know if you've seen it. But you guys can go check out the store for Fancy Finds. All of these items were found at the bins besides the embroidered black fringe cover up top. I got that from Kay's Thrift. She is like this incredibly amazing, like loud, boisterous Southern woman, and she's amazing. If you guys don't follow her, you should. Yes, she's so good. She's so good. Joy, I think you were in the show when I bought it. Is this the kind of information people can find? Yes. Yes. I took the playbook out. And Kate, I have to send it to you digitally. So that's why I'm like, what's your Instagram? I'm just not on Instagram, so I apologize that it's taken me so long for me to get it to you. But I removed it because we're rewriting it, and you're lucky because you got it. Yes, thank you for following me. It was your first time, and I think yes, it was. Yes, message me on Insta, please. It's the same handle on Whatnot, same handle on Instagram, same handle on TikTok. She did. I love it. Let's do it, Joy. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing my live. You guys, I love you. I will be live from the bins tomorrow. All right. I'm going to be doing TikTok content in the morning, the afternoon, and then after my live. So be sure to check it out. Go check out Fancy Finds. The store's loaded. And I love you guys so much. Who can we raid? I kind of want to do someone and we have to do Liz. I'm sorry. She's just like, she's such a solid seller and she just has great finds. I just want to make sure there's no one else that I know. Okay. It looks like she just logged on like 1 minute ago. But I love you guys. Thank you so much. I'm sorry to just like spill all this on you. But I will be live.